night long. Yes. Let's freaking go. The Wednesday night hour-long live stream. I'm going to have a lot of fun today because it was a brutal day for your boy personally. Had to go to a service celebrating my dear friend Alexis, who went to be with the Lord. She's probably the biggest LSU fan I've ever known. She was a big supporter of me and my wife, so I am dedicating this live stream to her today. But you guys don't come here for the sad stuff, and she would hate if I was in a bad mood, but I'm looking at you right now, okay? It's kind of strange because I'm kind of starting the live stream off with a very interesting story. Jimmy Lindsey, the new LSU defensive coordinator, had some type of health emergency, and he will not be with the team for the time being. So this is what I would tell you right now. The question that I've already gotten from quite a few of you is, how big of a deal is this? Normally, I would say it's really not too big of a deal because, you know, your defensive line coach is a very important coach. But if he knows his guys, the guys kind of know what he wants them to do, then it's really not that big of a deal because he's eventually going to come back. But it is a big deal because we are just now starting fall camp, and he has yet to coach this group at all. So that does worry me. If this had happened after a year of him being here, or even after a few weeks of him being here, I would probably feel different. But I would have loved for him to have that opportunity. You know, you get this dream job of coaching defensive line in one of the premier institutions in all of college football. I feel really bad for him. I really do. Obviously, his health is the most important thing, but I do think it is a semi-big deal. It's obviously not as big of a deal as if this would have been a Brian Kelly situation or an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator situation, but it is something, right? So John Jancic, who is coaching the jack outside linebacker position, is now your new defensive line coach for the interim. And Bob Diaco, the former UConn head coach, I'm looking at you right now. Do you remember Bob Diaco? He's been an LSU analyst. He had been working with the off-ball linebackers primarily. Now he is going to be the jack outside linebacker coach and the special teams coach. So should be interesting. Obviously, it does shake up special teams just a little bit. I would still venture off to think that John Jancic is still going to do some special teams coaching, but this is a big deal. It is, but it could have been a bigger deal if it was somebody a little bit higher up the ladder. We say hi to Brian. We say hi to Skipper. We say hi to Joshua. Skipper, I really do appreciate that. Yeah, obviously she was very sweet. Byron, good to see you as well. So there you go. Now, we are only going for an hour, but if we do go, if we do hit the hundo mark, we are going to give out a Jacob Hester signed card. I don't like giving out my Jacob Hesters. I love it when he actually signs the number 18, when he signs his stuff. And this is a beautiful blue ink card. Or you can choose to have a John Emery. I kind of want to give the John Emery out anyway tonight, or potentially on tomorrow's live stream. We also have a wonderful Caleb Jason. Okay, so I do think Jimmy Lindsey will be fine. because I am putting out positive thoughts because it's been a tough day for me personally as well. So I obviously it's very early. We don't know a whole lot. The only thing we know is Brian Kelly releasing the statement. Now, this video was supposed to be about Witt and Wes Weeks and their projections. We'll still talk about that some. Obviously, if you have been following our live streams, we have been doing projections on pretty much all the key players. Okay. So there you go. Now, next thing. Colin Simmons has set a commitment date. All right. This is the recruit that we have talked about the most. He has a final 3 set of Miami, Texas, and us. He will be announcing his commitment on August 10th. Okay. This is LSU's number 1 player on their board. Okay. We'll see. We'll see. There's obviously other players that are what I would consider number 1s on LSU's board as well. Obviously, Dominic McKinley is definitely one of those people, but Colin Simmons moves the needle so much for this team. He knows he's that good, and no matter if he chooses us on August 10th, the pressure going to be put on him is going to be so immense to go pretty much anywhere else. So wherever he decides to go, I do feel this is a sign on the dotted line situation for real, right? Sometimes like when Colin Hurley committed to LSU, he's going to LSU, right? When Will Campbell committed to LSU, we knew he was going to LSU. But obviously there are some players wherever they commit, it's going to be up in the air, right? Kind of like when Harold Perkins committed to Texas A&M. I was sitting here telling you it wasn't over, and it wasn't, okay? So, obviously, big deal if he picks LSU. I'm obviously going to go absolutely crazy if he picks LSU, but understand that it is far from over for a guy of this ability, okay? We say hi to Fire 3449. Everybody, welcome Fire 3449. I don't think I've ever seen you comment before. I have not seen Jacob Hester's 13-year-old son. I haven't. He's not that much older than me, and he's got a 13-year-old. I don't have any kids. So shout out to him. I wish I was that successful. But we also get some breaking news here as well. Caden Durham is going to announce his commitment on August 10th as well. Okay, this is just now coming in. So, Colin Simmons and Caden Durham, 8 days away. So it'll be a Thursday, and obviously we'll be live next Thursday. We will know where these 2 men are going. I would venture off to say that these are 2 of LSU's top 5 players that they are going after right now, and I would say probably 2 of their top 3 to go along with Dominic McKinley. So it is going to be Caden Durham and Colin Simmons committing next week. Now, will that be a package deal to LSU? I don't know. What I can tell you, though, is the final 3 for Caden Durham is Oklahoma, Texas A&M, and LSU. The final 3 for Colin Simmons is LSU, Texas, and Miami. So, do a little math here. If they're announcing on the same day, don't you think that they're both going to pick the same school? That may be true. That may or may not. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. But we've obviously talked a lot about them. I do feel like I want to talk about the current team. Witt and Wes Weeks are very interesting. It would not shock me. Okay, and I think Witt is a very solid player. I think he's going to play some special teams for us this next year. It would not shock me, though, if Witt Weeks plays more than West this year. I think Witt Weeks is very good. I really do. This isn't me just saying this now. This has been one of those guys. Of the 3-star recruits that initially committed to LSU, the two that I loved the most were Whit Weeks and Kyle Parker. Those are the two guys. Okay. Those guys had higher grades for me than a lot of the 4-stars that we had committed. So those two guys I personally like a lot, and I'm not backing off of that. And I'm not just saying this because Whit Weeks got, a Telegraph pick 6. I just think he's good. I really, really, really do. So will he play right off the jump? I don't think so. But I do think he will eventually be a starting linebacker at LSU and be a very good one. Wes Weeks, I think, is very interesting. He really played fine last year. He had some good snaps and he had some rough snaps. And I think for me, when you look at the linebacker rotation, as we discussed yesterday, it is going to be the Omar Spates and Harold Perkins show. Then there is a tier below them, which I think belongs to Greg Penn. And then I think there is a tier below him, which for me are the Weeks brothers. Okay. So I think that's how it is going to play out, because obviously we know Greg Penn is a really solid player, and I'm really looking forward to it. I am. Good to see you, Steven. Thank you so much. Got you some shirts. There you go. So don't forget, we have new merch, powerhourlsu.com. We got a brand new shirt and brand new shirt design. I love it. It's probably my favorite shirt design up to this point. I do like the OG shirt. I don't have many of those left. So if you want one, reach out to me now. Only got a few more sizes left, and I only have a few more hats left. But yeah, I think, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, this new shirt material feels great, and you'll see it when you get it. Okay. Also, most merch, including a new tumbler right here. Check it out, powerhourlsu.com. What I want to get into next, though, to go along with the linebacker thing, that's a position that oftentimes is better served when you have good talent around you, right? Obviously, Ray Lewis is one of the best football players of all time. He also had Tony Siragusa, right? He had Ed Reed. He had all these great players around him. And, the list goes on and on. Mike Vrabel, Teddy Bruschi, they had Ted Washington and Vince Wilfork. Everybody has to work together on defense. They really do. So how good our linebackers are is going to come down to how good we are on the defensive front. I feel as if we are going to be well suited to stop what Florida State likes to do, which is counter. They love to run counter. It is their bread and butter. Okay. It is amazing that these two programs that return experienced offensive lines and two coaches that have been known to produce really good run blocking offensive lines, they do it in a completely different way. They do. Okay. They love to pull. We pull some, but we just like to run it. We like to get downhill. So yeah, it's interesting because I got to be real with you. If I'm a linebacker, I prefer to play against a zone team instead of a counter team, because a counter team, they're doing, it's more bells and whistles and misdirection. Whereas with an inside zone team, which is what we do, it's a little bit more straightforward. But because we execute it so well and we have Jaden motherfreaking Daniels, it's very effective for us. Okay, so I think I think for us, we are going to, I think we're going to be ready for it. I really, really, really do. Okay. And what I think Florida State's going to do is they are going to try to run the football in the direction of Harold Perkins. They do not they do not want him rushing the passer. I think they're going to run a lot on first and second down and set up the pass on third. I really do believe it. But then again, Mike Norvell is a great play caller. He really, really, really is. So there you go. Now, I think Colin Simmons chatter, it's obviously really good. Don't forget, if you super chat, we go straight to your topic. So anything LSU football related, you have me for the next hour. Okay. Also, all right, I do want to point out one final thing about the Colin Simmons recruitment. There is always, and I really do mean it, there's always somebody out there when you lose that recruit. Okay, let's just say we don't land Colin Simmons. As great as he is, we still have Kalaj Cobbins. And that does open up a slot for another potential pass rusher that we may or may not be able to flip. Okay. So, as great as this is, I really do mean this. There's no such thing as a must get recruit, they don't exist. Okay. No individual player wins you championships. It is that simple. But obviously, some help more than others. So let's just say Simmons decides to go somewhere else. We're just going to have to work harder and find some other pass rushers to be a part of this class. Okay. Big Al wants to talk some Lane and Ibieta. Okay, we could do that. Man, I'm just trying to figure out, Big Al, where he plays, and that's not a disrespect to him. It's just hard to play wide receiver at LSU. It's hard to find anywhere on the depth chart for you to actually squeeze in there. Okay. I think for me, with Landon, we know he's really good with the football in his hands. We know he can go out there and make plays. It's just hard because we know BTJ, we know for sure Malik are our first two guys. And for Landon to be on the field with those guys, he's going to have to beat out Kyron Lacey. He's going to have to beat out Aaron Anderson. He's going to have to beat out Kyle Parker. He's going to have to beat out Chris Hilton. For me at this point, obviously, with these spring game performances, I think Landon would be higher on the pecking order than Chris Hilton, but I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to say. Doug got him some T-shirts. Let's go to his question. Is Lindsey out for good? If so, does BK make a defensive line hire before the season? Sticky situation. No. Here's what I would do if I'm Brian Kelly. Okay. Obviously, this is we don't. Number one, we just don't know anything. We just don't. All right. Maybe it is very serious. Maybe it isn't. I wouldn't make a defensive line coach hire before the season begins for this reason. Okay. We've had too many of them at this point. I understand coaches come and go. Okay. I understand it. But at the LSU defensive line coach, we have had so many different people. Okay. What's good, LJ? Thank you for the super chat. 15-0. I love it, baby. Let's go. I don't know why. It's raining. Bands will make her dance. 15-0, baby. I think you're just patient and hope he comes back. Number one, Jimmy Lindsey knows Matt House. That was a big reason why this hire was made. And look, you had just a few years ago, Bill Johnson, very successful defensive line coach. He's gone. All right. And then Pete Jenkins was also with the program with though. He's gone. Okay. And then you get Andre Carter. He's gone. Then you have Jamar Cain. He's gone. And now you have Jimmy Lindsey. And now we don't know. I just think you got to roll with it. Roll with what you have right now. I don't think you go out there and just go hire somebody. Maybe Brian Kelly. Maybe Brian Kelly calls in a Pete Jenkins or somebody like that that doesn't really coach anymore, but they can consult or something like that. I don't know. And before you make the same joke, and it's not going to be Ed Orgeron. I just think they're going to roll with what they have, and that's what I would do if I was PK. But then again, I'm not a Hall of Fame coach like him. All right, I knew this was coming. Right on cue. I knew it. I knew the joke was coming. Dev, good to see you. Jordan Jefferson will be our third best on the D line this year. All right. So, and LJ, once again, any topic you want to get to, we'll get straight to it. 84 of you here on a Wednesday. Type Y for yes, type in for no if you like the 1 hour Wednesdays. I love it. I really do. It's laid back, not as intense as our normal live streams. I love a good laid back Wednesday night. Jordan Jefferson will be our third best on the D line this year. I do like him. I do. He's coming over from a system. West Virginia's defense was really solid. Okay. For the first couple of seasons. This past season, they were horrendous to watch. They did not play together. They looked confused, and they were just ripped to shreds. But Jordan Jefferson made plays. He really did. Okay. It's going to be hard, but at the same time, pretty easy to get playing time behind Mekhi Wingo and Mason Smith, because LSU is just looking for somebody reliable to be a part of the defensive line rotation. Okay. Now, I also want to be very real here. This is why you should join the Patreon, Dev, and whoever else. Once again, you get a Joe Burrow card in the mail from me. Okay. I did release a little bit more of a straightforward defensive line review. Okay. Some of the guys that I personally like and some of the guys I think could rotate in and out a little bit more. I truly do believe this defensive line is going to find somebody that can rotate in. Now, as a whole, I feel as if our transfers that we brought in, some of them I love. Jordan Jefferson's one of them. But then some of those I'm also concerned about when I went back to rewatch their film. And this is why it's very important, okay, to really think about this, okay? When you look at a transfer, whoever it may be, and this could go for anybody that's transferring to another school, what you need to ask yourself is this player transferring up because he wants to, or is he transferring up because he has to? Okay? Two completely different things. Okay? One of my all-time favorite LSU defensive backs is Jarek Bernard-Converse. It is hard to join my list of my personal favorites. Okay, we all like Patrick Peterson. We all like Tyrann Mathieu, Corey Webster. I think a lot of you have we have the same few elite guys that we all love. But Jarek was a superstar with the Oklahoma State Cowboys. He was a very good football player. He was all Big 12. He transferred up because he wanted to. All right. Now, some guys transfer because they're not playing at whichever school they are. And LSU doesn't mind taking some kids in because their scholarship count was so low. All right. So what I would venture anyone to go do, guess what? You can watch full games on YouTube. Is just go watch the games and see for yourself, hey, is this person, did they put out good film at their last school? All right. So, guys that I think wanted to come here is someone like Omar Speights. All right, Omar Speights probably would have been drafted if he just wanted to go to the NFL. He wanted to make this move from the Pac-12 to the SEC. He could have stayed at Oregon State and been their all-time leading tackler if he probably would have stayed another season. But he wanted to make this move, and he's obviously outworked a lot of the guys that's been there because he won the highest honor you could win for LSU weightlifting just recently. So those are the kinds of guys you really want. Those are some really high quality transfers. But sometimes a lot of those guys aren't that, right? They weren't playing at their other school and they were just trying to go for a fresh start. Okay. So there you go. Jared, thank you for your super chat. I really do appreciate it. LJ super chat. Carter, why are you scared of going to Orlando? I'll protect you from the mean FSU fans. So I will say this. Okay. I did have a former Florida State player. He's been on this channel before. He actually reached out to me and asked me if I was going. Now, what's crazy is this Florida State player throws these crazy tailgate parties for their season opener. He threw one last year underneath the overpass next to the Superdome, and apparently got wild. Now, I couldn't go to that one because we had our own tailgate party at Stumpy's. And our tailgate party got pretty wild too. The halftime show in particular, it's still up if you guys want to go see it. Go check it out. I'm telling you, you will be surprised. I never thought that would happen. I remember Jared was like, dang, why? I wish I would have never gone to the game. Wish I would have stayed at the party. But yes, LJ, I don't think I'm making it to Orlando. Obviously, I want to. I really have enjoyed the Florida State guys that I've gotten to know, especially a former player who knows Jameis and all those guys. Obviously, I'm a big Jameis fan because I just love his attitude, his interview, how much he loves playing for the Saints. Foster Moreau had a hilarious Jameis story. I saw it online earlier. So yeah, I kind of want to make a last-second trip just to go hang out with those guys and to hang out with a lot of our PHLers. Jared's going, you're going, Danny's going, Carvis lives in Orlando, so we got some OG PHLers there. It's just hard because obviously, I've shared this before. It's just hard to do all the things that I need to do, pre-game, halftime, post-game, and all that stuff. Yeah, I think you guys know that. Everybody, welcome Gomaha to the channel. I love this avatar. It's really good stuff. So go right on ahead. Ask any question, Gomaha, that you want to ask. We always want first-timers to feel welcome. And there you go. Tigers want to be in that SEC West champion history and back-to-back at that. So type Y for yes, type in for no. If you watched the Power Hour SEC deep dive I released earlier today, type Y for yes, type in for no. Okay? Let me know, because I'm going to give you a few cliff notes from it. I highly recommend you go watch it after this video is over at 7. So LJ watched it. All right. So LJ knows what we're going to talk about. So we'll go into it right now. All right. Because this is kind of goes along with Gomaha's question. There are 2 teams in the West that I feel. All right. Do it after we're done here. All right. There are 2 teams in the West I feel have real legitimate shots to be sleeper candidates and win the West. Alabama's down. Obviously, we're really good. So this does open itself up for one of the other teams because the division has been run by us two. All right. I feel those two teams are Ole Miss and Texas A&M. All right. Power Hour SEC is the name of the channel. And by the way, Chance, thank you for your t-shirt purchase. I meant to shout you out a little bit earlier, and I appreciate your friendship, man. I've gotten to know you pretty well and your journalism background. So LSU was the only team in the entire SEC last year that did not have to play a B2B RG. Okay. And that's why I'm going to call it from this point forward a back-to-back road game. Now, I've talked about this quite a bit because it's one of those like kind of trends and stats that we found on this channel before anyone else. And we've honestly kind of bet into it, right? I feel as if the odds makers have not caught up to how hard it is to play back-to-back road games. Some of this is me talking to players over the years. Some of this also is just common sense. These are teenagers hopping on planes in back-to-back weeks, playing in buildings of 100,000 people in a sport that is very ritualistic and you don't travel. You've heard the spiel, okay? What I didn't know is that we were the only school in the entire SEC that did not play a back-to-back road game last year, all right? Now, truth be told, we did not play well on the road at all. There's only one game on the road where we played well, and that was Florida, obviously. Every game outside of that we did not play in Tiger Stadium, we did not play our best, okay? I don't think any one of you would disagree with that. So it was a big benefit that we never had to play any teams back-to-back. What's up, Max? Good to see you. So it's not the be-all, end-all, but the stat is this. There have been 36 teams since 2018, not including 2020, that have played back-to-back road games, and there's only 3 teams that have won both of those games. Okay, 2018 Florida, that was a team with Kadarius Toney, Kyle Pitts, Felipe Franks, Dan Mullen was their coach. Obviously, that team was really good. They went 10-3. And 2019 LSU and 2022 Georgia, 2 of the best college football teams ever. All right. It is hard to win both games in a back-to-back. And we never had to face it. You know who else doesn't have to face it this year? Ole Miss and Texas A&M. Now, the truth is, Ole Miss, their schedule is very hard, despite the bonus of them not having to play back-to-back road games. All right. They have to play at Georgia. They have to play at Tulane. They have to play LSU and Alabama back-to-back. It's brutal. All right. But Texas A&M's schedule is probably the second easiest one in the West. All right. The second easiest one. Now, the funny thing about it, and I shared this yesterday on the live stream, I've had a lot of Texas A&M Aggies follow me yesterday for something I tweeted, and they're still following me. And you guys know on the SEC channel, I'll try and be as objective as I possibly can, and I try to be as objective here, but I'm always up front. I'm an LSU fan, okay? But even though I don't believe fully in Jimbo Fisher, let's just say Jimbo is a little bit more aggressive on 4th down, and let's just say he lets the best play caller of the past few decades cook. Bobby Petrino is the best play caller of the past few decades. I think that is not crystal clear, but I think he's no doubt in everybody's top 5. They have a very sweet schedule, okay? The only thing that I don't like on their schedule is I'll pull it up for you right now. All right. Now, the funny thing about it is there was no arrogant Texas A&M fans. They were like mad at me because they think I'm gassing them up just for them to be hurt again. I will say this, okay? And I might lose subscribers on this. That's fine. Texas A&M fans are kind. All right? They are kind. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, man. They have been really kind to me lately, unlike some other fan bases. But you see right here, this is their schedule. All right. Arkansas has to play at LSU the week before. Alabama has to play at Mississippi State the week before. So Texas A&M is going to essentially get Arkansas on a back-to-back back end of a road game, B2BRG. And the same thing here with Alabama. All right. Now, Tennessee will be coming off a bye week, but you can lose to Tennessee, much like we lost to Tennessee last year. The games you want to win, obviously, you want to win all of them, but it is more important to win the ones that you actually play versus your Western foes. Okay. They get a well-timed bye week here, and then they get these three schools, which is tricky. These are three really good schools, and two of these three games are at home. My prediction, okay, I think Texas A&M right now will finish second in the West behind us. And I think this game in Baton Rouge is going to decide it. And I think this game will be the most hyped LSU Texas A&M game ever. Okay. And let's be real. This is what's kind of sucked about this LSU Texas A&M rivalry over the years. All right. We have not really played for a whole lot. All right. Because we have been on a different level than them. 2019 LSU, we were playing for a lot, but we knew when Joe Burrow walked out there with the Burrow jersey, we knew he was dropping 60 on him. And then, obviously, the 2020 matchup was a nothing burger. 2021 game, Ed Orgeron's last game, it turned into something, but we really weren't playing for anything. We were playing for a bowl, but still, I think it wasn't really a whole lot. And then obviously 2022, we had already clinched the West and their season was over. I think this game is going to decide the West. I do. And boom, everybody show Arthur some love. He has joined the Hundo Club. We have got a Hundo Club member. Let's go. Congratulations, Arthur, coming in hot. I love it, man. Congratulations. All right. So, Arthur, congratulations. Shoot me an email with your address. You're winning a Jacob Hester card. Congratulations with the number 18 right there. Or actually, let's do this because I'm in a good mood. Let's give Arthur 2 number 18 cards. We'll send you a chase on as well. How about that? This one's actually a pretty rare one. Only 10 of these copies were made. Or if you prefer John Emery, I could send you John Emery. You let me know. Okay. Just shoot me an email, arthurpowerhourlsu@gmail.com, and you get to pick the next topic. Go right on away. All right. So I see a few of you asking about the scenarios here. Yeah, Jimmy Lindsey, health reasons, he will not be coaching us for the time being. Really sucks. Obviously, I want him to feel well. I also feel really bad. We do have members of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity. Shout out to you guys. I love dogs. I do. Shout out to Shaq. Shout out to Makai Wingo. I know you guys are a really, really, really tight-knit community. And Jimmy Lindsey is an Omega. Okay. Everybody, welcome Hazard EGG to the channel. What's up, Kareem? You want to talk some Colin Simmons and Caden Durham? Arthur, your wife shouldn't be mad at you. You're supporting me. Arthur, I'm always straight up, as you guys see. By design, I don't have a gazillion sponsors. I don't. I'm mostly funded by you guys. Now, I am partnered with Underdog Fantasy. Sign up now, promo code Carter. Okay. Because I love fantasy football and I believe in their product, and I actually spend a lot of time on Underdog drafting. But yeah, I'm currently speaking with a few partners. Hopefully we can, iron something out. But yeah, it's y'all's donations that help me feed Z and take care of her vet bills and all that stuff. I almost said debt bills, but that's essentially what they are, right? American Patriot. There you go, Kareem. Good to see you. I've hooked Kareem up with some cards before. I do believe they are. I'm going to be real with you. Okay. Now, full disclosure. Obviously, we get new subscribers when the season gets closer. The algorithm feeds my stuff because I am just a football guy. All right. And that's great. But I'm always open with who I am. I am not the guy that is a read the tea leaves kind of guy. I don't interview the players that are recruits. Rarely do I talk to the recruits. Obviously, I have a relationship with the Colin Hurley, but normally I want the kids to be kids. I kind of think the constant hitting up kids and all that stuff is kind of strange. I mean, they're teenagers, for goodness sakes. But let's just put a timeline together here with Caden Durham and Colin Hurley. Okay, so Caden Durham had an announcement date set for August 25th. Okay, but Bayou Splash happens, and everything just starts moving quicker. And you had the Caden Durham tweet. I screamed on the plane. I was landing in Chicago when something when a tweet beeped in that there could be an announcement at 3 p.m. this past Sunday. It was crazy. I was like, no way. We're going to get Ori Williams and Caden Durham on the same day, but he was just announcing his top 3. But, he had the date set for August 25th. It gets moved up. Then sources, okay, having a pretty good knowledge that LSU is mostly only recruiting Caden Durham for their running back position. Okay. Some of that is because the 2025 class is going to be loaded. I think they take 3 running backs in 2025. So they have focused all their attention on Caden Durham. All right. And obviously Frank Wilson's building the relationship. And it's tough because his family has Oklahoma ties. All right. But all of a sudden, you have LSU, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma in Caden Durham's top 3. Colin Simmons' top 3 is LSU, Miami, and Texas. They're both high school teammates. They're both announcing on the same day. Now, notice this is not a signing day where everyone's got to make an announcement by then. This is a joint commitment at their own choosing. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to be a package deal. That doesn't also mean that they can't flip before, we get there. But read their actions. It is very interesting. Okay. Now, once again, I give recruit evaluations. I am not an insider. Just not who I am. But I will tell you this. I feel really good about it. I really do. I didn't let you guys down with the Harold Perkins stuff. I won't a gazillion percent tell you. And by the way, if you're new, the Harold Perkins thing was just when he committed to Texas A&M. I said it's not over. That's all I said. even if these two commit to LSU, it's not going to be over. Then they're obviously two of the best players in America, so it's definitely not going to be over for either one of them. But yeah, it is interesting. It is very, very interesting. So there you go. Like I said earlier, the only school in both of their top three is LSU. Okay. Drewski meme. So take that for what it's worth. Now, I need my married PHLers to give Arthur some much needed advice for when his wife says, "Hey, did you really donate $100 to the chunky Bruno Mars wannabe LSU announcer?" Y'all give my guy Arthur some great advice to tell his wife why he decided to help me live my dreams. Y'all let Arthur know. Tell Arthur, "Hey, man, your name is Arthur." Okay. Now, Joshua, I said give him some good advice. Don't tell him go to the doghouse. That's not what we want. We want him to keep dropping the hundos. That's horrible, Joshua. You failed. Come on. We got to help Arthur because his wife's going to say, "Hey, what is this charge to Google? Who's Google? What was Google wearing today?" It's kind of like the Jake from State Farm thing because I am technically wearing khakis. Y'all know the joke, right? And I never wear khakis, but I shared why I'm dressed up. There you go. Arthur was like, you know what, baby? I just really like Jacob Hester. Okay. Don't ever question my support for all things LSU. Now, full disclosure. Of course, we do give these out to people that do make donations, but we also send cards out just in general to people that don't donate. Okay. But I really do appreciate them. We'll send you the cards. And don't forget to shoot me an email, powerhourlsu@gmail.com. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'm a 6 to 7 guy on Wednesday. I keep it an hour. I try to keep it an hour on Wednesday. Obviously, on Thursday nights, we go later. So once again, if you are here and you're new, Tuesdays, 8:15, Wednesdays, 6 p.m., Thursdays, 8:15, Sundays, 8:15. Okay. Now we're going to be having some Florida State players on our channel pretty soon. And like we always say, when we have guests, especially if they're from other teams, we're going to treat them with respect. For some reason, last year when we had a Florida State player on here last year who played, was a really good, running back during the Bowden era. I know it wasn't work done, I wish. But there was a big fight that happened in the comment section. It wasn't even about Florida State. So when we have a guest on here, we always want to treat them with the utmost respect. And last year's guest was so good, we're going to have him on again. Okay. Take you on a ride on my big green tractor. We can go slow and make it go faster. Wait, why am I using this as a microphone when I have an actual microphone here? That is so weird. I sometimes don't understand why I do what I do. Take you on. Dude, that song goes hard, man. Let's see how. Hyper Ninja, you are correct. Now, y'all keep the questions coming. But if you do super chat, we can go a little bit past 7. So I really do appreciate it. Authority Song, good to see you. Let's see here. Did he say he's leaving the team it's why it's important to have some while I'm here. We're gonna have some specificity here, Chance. Did he say he's leaving permanently? Has that been? I don't think that's come out. I can look real quick. Okay. I don't think it's permanent though. I don't. All right. I do not. I hope it's not. I'll tell you this. If I was a defensive line coach and I grew up watching Marcus Spears and Glenn Dorsey, you never really fathom getting that kind of a job. And boom, health. Okay. But it's not permanent. Okay. So I think at this point, because look, I think we all want some clarity here. Until we hear from Coach Lindsey, we won't know anything. We just won't. Because ultimately it's going to come down to what he wants. Okay? Yeah, I hope so too, Blaine. Let's go to Arthur, man of the hour. I'm anxious to see how the running back room transforms this year. Yeah, one thing it's very interesting, Arthur, is we did see all the running backs at LSU get way better last year. They all took massive leaps forward. Now, the question will be, I think the giraffes are here. My neighborhood kids. I think no. So you remember the kids that jumped on this live stream not too long ago? So they run around the neighborhood. They'll come ring the doorbell. So they want me to go out there and throw routes to them. But two things about the running back room, Arthur. I think the first thing is Jaden makes our running back so much better. Okay? It's just simple logic. If I, as a defensive lineman, have to worry about the quarterback running, that means anytime he sticks his hands out to hand the football out, I have to worry about him pulling it. Okay? And yeah, there are other quarterbacks who can run, but there's not many people who can run half as good as Jaden can run. Okay? So that makes all your running backs better. It increases the gravity towards Jaden, and it opens up holes for the team. Okay? Makes our offensive line better. Now, something else, Arthur, if you want to get really technical here, we were number one in Football Outsiders advanced offensive line metrics. Stuff rate, line yards, a lot of these fancy smancy offensive line statistics. Okay. And why is that? I truly do believe it's because of Jaden. I really do believe it. And look, as flawed as Jaden could be as a passer, when you can run as well as he can run, it just opens everything up. It really, really, really does. Tires out defenses. And I just don't think, we give Jaden enough credit, right? Like, I still see people comparing him to like Jordan Jefferson. And Jordan was a phenomenal runner. But Jaden is by far the best runner we have had at the quarterback position. Now, I will say, Joe is a really good runner too. He was his most underrated trait. But yeah, I can't wait to see Trey Bradford with Jaden in the backfield because that would be a lot of speed, and obviously Caleb Jackson. I can't wait to see him play. Okay. That's a good question, Pegasus. Who did the two Duncanville guys remind you of? Caden, let's see. I've watched a fair amount of him. It's kind of tough to say. He does have some home run hitting ability, so he's got to be a home run hitter. I would probably say I kind of want to say Geis, but it's kind of unfair to Durham because Geis was just so freaking good, man. Well, I'll go with that. Why not? And then obviously Simmons is just really good. I've seen a few people compare him to Vaughn. Obviously, he's probably the best, but sure, we'll go Vaughn. Especially if they're watching. You're as good as those guys. Ha ha ha. But yeah, no, it's nothing against Jordan Jefferson. Obviously, I've defended Jordan on here a gazillion times, but I still see people, compare them, and Jaden is closer to Lamar as a runner, if anything. Now, he really is that good of a runner. Ooh, Achane at Texas A&M. Achane's tough because he's so fast, right? He's what, sub 10, 100 meter at his absolute fastest, and Durham's around like 10.3, 10.2, which is also like obviously really, really, really fast. So yeah, Achane's pretty good. I like that. There you go. Larry says he wants more play action. It's good to see you, Larry. You're holding it down in the 337. Okay. Now, I really do mean it. Next 2 minutes, if we get a super chat, we'll keep this thing going. Once again, big shout out to LJ, Jared, Arthur, Kareem. Okay. Very cool stuff. Now, something else. I really do appreciate you guys ordering your PHL shirts. Mick, get on it, Mick. Pegasus, Larry, get your PHL shirts, baby, for the season. You have been a Trey Bradford guy, Michael. That's true. All right. We'll give this one out tomorrow night. Dude, Chance is a merch king, man. I love it. So tomorrow night we'll give this one out right here. Drew Brees Purdue card. I love this card right here. We'll give this one out tomorrow night. What's up, Connor? No, Omar's killing it, man. Hope you subscribe, man. Yeah, Heather is gray. I'm guessing. Ooh, I like this text. I like that. I also like to see LeBron James working out in some Liverpool shorts. I love that, Bronny. Year 21, bro. All right. Appreciate each and every one of you. Type Y for yes if you're going to be at the live stream tomorrow night at 8:15 Central. I need to know. All right. Mason Smith won our poll today for best defensive lineman. Let me know. Yeah, we didn't talk any Pac-12 realignment. We didn't. All right, guys. What I'm actually going to do is, if you are a member of the Discord, come on over to the Discord right now. I'm going to be chatting with you guys in there right now. Okay. If you want to join the chat, go to patreon.com/LSU football. The link is right down there. It's the first link you'll see. Sign up and you get a Joe Burrow card in the mail from me. If you do the $9.99 Joey tier, that gets you access to the Discord. And guess what? You can chat with me whenever. You get a one-on-one call with me if you choose to do it right when you sign up. Okay. Some people choose to do it. Some people don't. Jared chose to do it. And what's up, Danny girl? Richard, thank you so much, man. Danny girl, I really appreciate your support. She is going to Orlando. Okay. So, Josh, there's actually a reason. I'm actually going to tell you why. It's actually pretty hilarious. I got a card coming in the mail for you. But yeah, if you sign up for patreon.com/LSU football, you have access to that. Now, if you are a member of the Discord, come on over. We'll be chatting in the Discord right now. All right. It is Power Hour LSU. Boom. Prayers to Coach Lindsey. Prayers to my dear friend Alexis. She's in a better place now. And tonight, William, come to the Discord, man, right now. Tonight, we are doing grilled chicken salad, some spicy grilled chicken salad. Blue cheese, you know it, baby. Let's go.